What's going on, everyone? Fulton here, and we have some unfinished business on our hands, folks. What can I say? 2020 was a weird time, but I appreciate all of you who reached out. Really means a lot. I hope you are all well. I probably listened to more music and more new albums than I ever have in my lifetime, but we're gonna do 25. These might not necessarily be the best of the best, but they were certainly the ones that put me at ease throughout this whole period, and we have some really big ones to talk about as well. Just wanted to thank you all for your patience. Let's do this again. Let's get started. So for these first bottom 15, I'm going to try to run through these as quickly as I can because I know all of you just really want to hear the list. But really, I could say a lot of great things about all of these, but I kind of want to keep this video a little bit on the shorter side. So here we go. At number 25, we have 3 EPs. Sorry, I have to do these mulligans and have a little fun. But to start off at 25 Part A, we have the Licorice Quartet with Volume 1. If this is the closest thing we get to Jellyfish in the future, this is pretty awesome. It's another Roger Manning Jr. project. Still has that original Jellyfish flair with a lot of modern twists and still a lot of tongue-in-cheek references. Next up at slot B, we have Honorary Astronaut with EP 001. This is Casey of the Deer Hunter. I think this one is just all him. Really great stuff. Can't wait to hear more from this. Lastly, at slot C, we have the Scent Popstar EP. Just killing it with this rock revival, kind of early David Bowie-esque. Just super fun and just the true spirit of rock and roll at the heart of it. Coming in at number 24, we have My Buds from the Great Up North, Pyramid Theorem. This one's called Beyond the Exosphere. Guys, it is the perfect blend of Rush and Dream Theater. And I'm gonna obviously love that, but yeah, this one really sounds great, worth checking out. At number 23, Paul McCartney with McCartney 3. Now, y'all can blame McCartney for a lot of stuff, and you can blame him again for making this list so damn late because it came out like the last week of December. Come on. Just making things super difficult because I had to make it sit and I needed to form an opinion on it. And there's just something so special about the trademark McCartney sound. I don't think he gets enough credit for some of the other things that he does other than bass and vocals. It might not be the best thing in the catalog, but it really just what we all needed in 2020, I think. Next up is the Flaming Lips with American Head. You can always count on the Flaming Lips to create a record full of wonderful textures and atmospheres and beautiful melodies, and this one is no exception. Switching over to things a little bit heavy, at number 20 we have The Ocean with Phanerozoic 2, Mesozoic, Cenozoic, Zoink Scoops, I can't speak, and a really great companion piece to Phanerozoic 1. Really inspiring to see them just always pumping out so much great material. Coming in at number 19, we have Green Carnation with Leaves of Yesteryear. This has been like, what, a 15-year gap, kind of like when we were talking about Tool's Fear Inoculum. But yeah, these guys pretty much took off right where they left off. A lot of this record sounding like Light of Day, Day of Darkness, one of their most legendary releases. Coming in at number 18, we have another progressive metal legend and huge icon, Fates Warning, with Long Day, Good Night. And what more can be said about Fates Warning that we haven't already talked about? At this point, Fates Warning fans kind of know what to expect, and they're kind of still just giving that to us. We're still just kind of okay with that. Good to see a lot of jazz influence being put into this record, and it kind of just feeling like home. Any Fates Warning record is a good place to start in my book, and just always going to be a consistent band no matter where you slice it. On the flip side, at number 17, we have a progressive metal band that always seems to surprise us somehow, and this is Pain of Salvation with Panther, all caps. Daniel Gildenlau, healthy and happy as ever from what we can see. It seems no matter what cast of characters he has in his backing band, it always turns out to be phenomenal. Great blend of the old, good blend of the new. Just super unpredictable. It's certainly a 2020 production, which is kind of interesting to see them handle. They have their POS fingerprints all over this one. Next up, we have a bigger metal band in the alt-rock scene. This is Deftones with Ohms. Always a super consistent band whenever they drop a record, but this is the most alive I've heard them since Diamond Eyes, which is one of my favorite records, but really just kind of giving that White Pony kind of vibe, and I just think this is one of the best things that they've done in years. Next up, we have Sasha and Joe in the band Intronaut with Fluid Existential Inversions. We have a different time clock doing the percussion behind them, but damn, these guys always continue to push the boundaries of progressive metal. This is probably their most melodic, catchy, and accessible album to date, and when I say that, it kind of sounds like a scary thing, but not the way that these guys do it. Absolutely not. Killer stuff, as always, guys. Next up at number 14, we have Yvette Young and her band Covet with the record Technicolor. Yeah, Yvette Young is just one of the best up-and-coming guitar players. Super, super stoked just to see her blend of technical math rock just getting the love that it deserves. Just super chilled out, super well written, very well played. Just listen to this one. This one's great. Coming in at number 13, we have the Chrome Dome alien himself, Joe Satriani, with Shapeshifting, and again, legend status. Not really much else you can say about him at this point, but one thing I do really admire is he said in interviews that he's not really much of a shredder. He just happened to have some shredding in his guitar vocabulary. Even with so much of that being out these days, Joe still just finds his own unique way to carve out his own path and just continue to be an inspiration for us all. Next up, we have Ben Sharp hitting us with another one, Cloud Kicker with Solitude. What a perfect title to sum up 2020 as a whole. But yeah, as an airline pilot, I would imagine his industry kind of put him at home a little bit too. Polyrhythmic bliss is what I've always considered this band, and there's always just another turn of the wrench whenever Ben releases a record. This one's probably the noisiest one yet, but hits the spot every time. And to close off the first bottom 15 at number 11, we have Intervals with Circadian. Aaron Marshall still killing the guitar game. Loving like the Sonic the Hedgehog vibes on this. Probably not intentional, but that's kind of what I'm hearing, and I just love it. Playing's great, production's great, and I just can't wait to see him back on the road again once shows can get back started. Coming in at number 10, we have Biffy Clyro with A Celebration of Endings. I've been getting into these guys a lot lately. This has kind of hit the spot at a time where I really needed it. Kind of progressive at times, really super melodic and poppy sometimes, very unpredictable. It's just overall really solid. And I really just dig their sound. One of the more refreshing modern rock acts I've heard in a long time, so keep it up, guys. And coming in at number 9, we have probably one of the most important comeback albums that none of us expected, but it's here and it rocks. Blue Oyster Cult with The Symbol Remains. Legendary rock band, Blue Oyster Cult, coming at us with something that we weren't expecting, but once we got it, we really needed it. Big, long record, super polished production, but freaking hell is it awesome. First release from like the early 2000s, so probably a lot of these songs were kicking around a while, but man, does it kind of show. A lot of these songs have just such a focused energy, and some of the newer guys in the band adding such a fresh new breath of life. Some bands just really know how to surprise you, and BOC really hit it on the mark this time. Killer stuff. At number 8, we have Caligula's Horse with Rise Radiant, one of the progressive metal bands that I've really been having my eye on for the last probably 6 or 7 years. It's just been really inspiring to see them grow and really just refine their sound with each and every record. This is a triumphant release, really powerful, and really kind of the energy that we needed. Amazing record. Coming in at number 7, we have Sons of Apollo with 2020. Yeah, if only the band had known what they were getting themselves into with calling the record that, it would have been impossible to know that. But actually one of the last live shows that I had seen before everything shut down. It's a really powerful sound. It really just sounds like the band is coming into their own. Always seems to be a hit or miss with the second release, but these guys did not have the sophomore slump, thank goodness. At number 6, we have Haken with Virus. Again, another one of those weirdly coincidental things that, yeah, we're just gonna let that slide. What can I say about Haken? They're just still killing the modern progressive metal game. This is the companion piece to Vector, and this whole concept really comes full circle with this release. When I was originally doing my review for Vector, I think I said that the record kind of felt a bit unfinished. Well, not knowing that this one was gonna come out, now I really kind of take back what I said. This is really the yin yang of the Vector Virus saga. Some of the heaviest I've ever heard them, but still a nice variety of their lighthearted progressive rock stylings as well. And even pulling from concepts from the Mountain to really bring this concept home and closing it out. I can't wait to see them live on the road again. Always a great live show. At number 5, we have Katatonia with City Burials. Now, Katatonia have had the number 1 spot on this channel before. Fall of Hearts, still a masterpiece, still in love with that record, and that was some big shoes to fill. Did they come close? Yeah, but did I really expect them to do another record just like that? Would I have wanted them to do another record just like that? No. And I think this is really just the next logical step. And they're still just the kings of atmosphere. This record, although probably their most polished one to date, still has that element. Some stuff really sounded like a combination of everything they've done up to this point. Some songs really a good direction forward. It's a nice balance on this record, but it didn't really have the overall arc that The Fall of Hearts did. That one was just truly a work of art. Coming in at number 4, we have Plini with Impulse Voices. Plini's sound is really one of a kind. The music is always super uplifting and always comes at a time where you really need it. Playing is phenomenal. These cats just got the spark, what can I say? Simon Grove's production, just so sweet. Love this one, Plini. Just gonna leave it at that. Coming in at number 3, possibly had Album of the Year status all over it. Kind of feel like a majority of this top 3 could have been flip-flops, but this is just how the cookies fell this time around. We have John Petrucci with Terminal Velocity, his first solo album, number dos, in 15 years. Reunited with Mike Portnoy, it's really just the dream team that we've wanted for so long. Regardless of the pandemic, he was going to do this anyway, which still would have been sick. Hearing Gemini finally, after 30 freaking years, how long have I been waiting for that? Ever since I was, doing my homework to the Rock Discipline guitar video that he put out back in the 90s. Just phenomenal. It's not a competition, but man, this guy is seriously a god among men. That's all I gotta say about that. Coming in at number 2, this is totally a me choice. This one possibly could have been Album of the Year as well, just because of who he is and what his music has meant to me forever. This is Eric Johnson with EJ Volume 2. Another really subdued, more intimate, delicate number. Except this one has a bit more of a full band and a little bit more of electric guitar blended in. It's not just an acoustic record like EJ Volume 1 was. But I've seen him on these tours, and the sound captured on this record is really lively. It really just sounds like you're in the room with him. Very human. His tone and his signature touch is something that I've just admired for years and years and always will. There's just something about it that, he doesn't even have to do very much for me to just weep. Utterly beautiful. He still sounds as young as ever, and his playing is always going to be inspiring no matter what setting he's in. He's just such a well-rounded player. It's just, no matter where you pick it up in his catalog, it's going to be great. So yeah, coming in at number 2, EJ Volume 2. And coming in at number 1, we have something that I did not expect at all. It's from a band that I have been aware of, but kind of refound them by accident this year, just based on their name being in relation to a Beatles song. Dizzy Miss Lizzy with Alter Echo. From the moment I put this on, I did not want to stop the record. And by the time it was done, I kind of just looked at my list and I realized we had a landslide victory, just uppercutting the whole thing. And this just blew my mind on so many levels. It's truly just the perfect blend of power pop, alternative rock, and progressive metal. I don't know how this band makes this work so well, but it's truly just a testament to how well they can write and play. Melodies for days, the riffs are just chef's kiss. And just from top to bottom, the way they structured this record, it's just a masterpiece that I didn't think that I was going to find this year. I'm glad that I did, and I'm able to give a band who is, from what I've seen, criminally underrated. So take that for what you will. And that's the list. That is my 2020 wrapped up finally. Again, thank you all for your patience, and I hope you find a lot of enjoyment in this list. I know a lot of you do, so it really makes me feel good doing these every year. Have a lot in store for you this 2021, and I really hope that I'm able to give that out to you. So we'll see what happens, but I do hope, sincerely, I will see you all very soon in the next video. Take care, everyone.